It's noon on the final day of crowdfunding for Hungry Gnoles Eat the Rich. Let's go. Just a quick reminder that in addition to your pre-orders helping better this book and future books released by me, this is your last chance to get the book at a discounted rate before it goes up on DriveThruRPG and itch.io, hopefully around November. At the time of this recording, we are over 300% funded with almost $4,000 in pre-orders. This is better than I ever could have expected, and it means that we are going to be able to A, make this game and zine beautiful, and B, put away money to make our next project even better. If you haven't pre-ordered yet and you're even remotely interested, now is the time. With that said, on the last day of funding, I wanted to talk a little bit today about why Gnoles. I was talking last night with my partner Diana about the funding campaign and how things were going, and she pointed out that she thinks that this project is a little more niche than I think it is. And what she meant by that was maybe not everyone wants to play cannibalistic hyena people, which I didn't understand. I love monstrous humanoids, and I love playing as monstrous humanoids because they tell you what the establishment and the mainstream view as monstrous and who they view as monstrous. And Gnoles are especially interesting to me in that regard because of their depiction as spotted hyenas. Spotted hyenas are highly social animals. They work together in studies more effectively and efficiently than even chimpanzees do. They are highly diverse eaters that will consume anything that can give them energy and keep them strong, and they are even willing to bend their hierarchies in order to keep one another safe and ensure the growth of their clan. So what are we saying when we call that behavior monstrous? The first Hungry Gnoles game was actually a celebration of food. It's still available at goblinidlegames.itch.io, and it's a little party role-playing game where you're trying to gross out your friends by describing the best meal your gnoll has ever had. And this game was important to me because food is such an interesting topic when we think about it culturally. We judge food unfairly in a way that hyenas don't. A lot of people view hyenas as carrion eaters and think that that makes them dirty. And while hyenas are carrion eaters, they're also very adept hunters. The truth is that hyenas will eat anything. They find food wherever they can, and they share it with their clan because their goal is to keep the clan healthy, fed, and strong. And Hungry Gnoles Eat the Rich was a direct evolution of this idea of valuing food and valuing community in a time where those kinds of values are considered monstrous in America. You may know that earlier in February, Diana caught COVID. During that period, I had to go to the grocery store to pick up some stuff. I was wearing a mask, and I was harassed by a citizen who thought that I was virtue signaling. And the fact is that I could have had COVID. I never tested positive, but I wanted to be safe. I wanted to protect my community, doing the very bare minimum. And I was viewed as monstrous because of the way that I was presenting myself in an attempt to keep my community safe. And to me, that's a big part of what Hungry Gnoles Eat the Rich is about. It's about being someone who is viewed as monstrous because you care about your team, you care about your community. And importantly, in Hungry Gnoles Eat the Rich, Gnoles view everyone as their community. What does it mean when complete acceptance of your neighbor and complete dedication to helping them is considered monstrous? Hungry Gnoles Eat the Rich is a power fantasy. It's not a simulationist game. It's not a game about struggling against forces of authoritarian fascism. It's a game about succeeding because you are a monster. When you play traditional D&D, rules as written right out of the box, you are given character archetypes and character beliefs and faces that the establishment, that the mainstream have deigned as acceptable. And the appeal of monstrous characters for me and for many other players is the rejection of that. In Hungry Gnoles Eat the Rich, you see the heroes in shining armor and you see what they are actually defending. And you see that it is the establishment. You see that it is stagnation. You see it is the status quo. And when those are the things that the heroes are defending, the only choice is to be monstrous. And to be clear, Hungry Gnoles Eat the Rich is far from the first game to consider this. Right off the top of my head, we have Monster Hearts by Avery Alder, as well as Spire from Grant Howitt. But I love Spotted Hyenas because of what they represent, and by extension, I love Gnoles, and that's why I'm so happy to add this little zine to the course of games that allow you to be monstrous because you love your neighbor. So thank you from the bottom of my heart to everyone who has supported this game and helped it to grow and be something that is cool and beautiful and fun, and I cannot wait to share it with you when it's done. For the final time, if you're interested in pre-ordering the zine and making it even better, you can find it at bit.ly/hungryzine for the next 12 hours. Eat the rich.